What's up, witches?
What's up, witches?
I'm Linda,
And I'm John.
and this is Getting Witchy, the musical. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that to y'all. But the look on your face.
She could swing it because she has a beautiful voice. I, on the other hand, would sound like a dying cat in a barrel.
Oh, baby.
Anyway, it's been a while.
Yes.
We've had to make some adjustments. I stepped down as an hourly manager. Quite plainly, besides the toxicity of the environment, we didn't have a day off together.
No.
That we didn't plan for and put in PTO for.
Right.
In what, 2-3 months?
Yeah.
Something like that. It was a solid 2, almost 3 months that we didn't have a day off together that we didn't put in for. So I stepped down to where I could dictate what my schedule would be. And it's been about a month, give or take, but it's just some transition and, adjustments. And it's been a while, but we have lots of ideas, like we've mentioned in the past couple posts that we did get to do. What we're going to do today is a new job or new career spell.
Yes.
It was one of the things that we had mentioned because, as I just said, with our work environment. So today's spell, since we had done one once upon a time with the candle and the writing out everything and letting the candle burn down and all that good stuff, which did work.
Yes. Oh,
sauce. Sorry. Excuse me a moment. We're making some semi-homemade bolognese sauce, and I got to go stir.
So anyway, our previous new job example was a candle/petition spell. This one is going to be a little bit different. We still have our petitions, but instead of burning it, we are going to plant it with a seed of our choosing. We're each using different seeds. And as we nurture the seed, the opportunities for the job we're wanting for will continue to grow. Now, it may take a little bit longer than the original petition spell that we used, but the hope is also that it will be a better fit than just a flash in the pan emergency exit kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no emergency exit. I mean, when I stepped down, I only lost $2 an hour. So I'm doing pretty good for what I do, but it's still the same toxic environment. So
that's big box stores for you.
Anyway, so we, as she had stated, we have our seeds that we picked. I chose sage. I had, and the reason this one jumped out at me is when I did 2015, 16, and 17, I worked in Michigan for about 5 to 6.5, 7 months a year at a private club. Amazing experience, great people, except for 1 or 2. And I was staying with a friend, Steve. He had a random sage growing in his yard. Random as F. Oh, I forget we can cuss because this is adults. Random as fuck. So I transplanted it into a pot and took care of it. And Mother Lover survived the winters and was growing just fine when I came back in the spring, every year. And so as hardy as sage is, I thought this would be excellent for the type of petition and spell that I want to do, something hardy. I mean, granted, I have maybe 10, 15 max years before I can retire. And sage is awesome for all kinds of stuff, especially cooking, and I love cooking. Obviously, we're doing some semi-homemade sauce. Anyway, so I picked sage.
I picked nasturtium because I learned about these when I was going to herbalism school. Not only are they edible, but they are also medicinal. And for some reason, I've had a hell of a time growing them. So if I can keep this little seed alive, it will help me grow my new job as well. So challenge.
And the new
Yes.
career,
Yes.
the apothecary.
Yes, the budding apothecary as well. So for this spell,
no candles needed.
Nope. You need a little flower pot, preferably one with a hole at the bottom so it drains. You need some potting soil, your seeds, your petition, and of course some water.
Should there be some pebbles at the bottom to help it drain, or just pack it tight at the bottom? Because those holes are kind of big.
I mean, we could put some pebbles, but I was just going to pack it tight.
Okay.
So anyway, you will want to start with some soil at the bottom. And of course,
and this just ran this regular garden soil.
Yep, potting soil, garden soil, whatever you've got handy. And
not the potting mix with all those little white things in them.
No, this is organic potting soil that we're using. You'll want to fill it about
halfway.
See, about halfway, and pack it tight. Give it to you.
The big chunk.
Yes, it was.
Big chunk of cocaine. What? Hey, I have a history.
I know you do.
And if the little pot breaks, you're pressing too hard.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
For good measure.
So once you've got it about half full, you want to put your petition in with.
We've already pre-written ours, obviously.
Yes.
I would consider that, like, part of me wants to read to you what I wrote, so you would have an ideal or an idea or an example of what to do, but ultimately it needs to come from your heart. So mimicking and copying what somebody else does wouldn't necessarily have the strength or the effect that you want. So we're not going to read them to you.
No, but things you might want to include would be your salary requirements, the days off that you want, the hours that you want to work,
Type of company,
the type of job that you want.
like mine is, I will tell you this, non-customer facing.
And one of the things on mine is I do not want to be micromanaged. Because that is a huge thing where I work.
Yeah, that's good luck.
Yeah. Well,
this spell will help make that happen.
Yes. So you put your petition in with your seeds.
Oh.
Yep. You want to put
right
your
right there with the
right there with the petition.
Okay. Oh, this hasn't even been opened yet.
No, it has not.
Well, here we go.
And depending on the size of your seeds,
I'm gonna do a couple.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I did a couple and they're pretty big. You want to give your spell the best chance. So These nasturtium seeds are pretty big, so I only did 2
So
with this size
I,
pot.
right, I like doing things in increments of 3, 6, 9,
So I would say for you 3,
6.
6. Oh, well,
6.
okay.
And we could actually, that's another idea for like the mythos
Behind the
behind
numbers.
369.
Okay.
Like Tesla loved 369. Everything was 369.
Well, Tesla had connections.
That's
So you put your seeds in. Again, with your petition.
okay.
And then you cover them both with more potting soil.
No, you're not.
You're right, I'm not. Now, if there is an affirmation or a prayer that you want to say, or some sort of verbal petition, you can.
Well, you could also put, just like I've talked about in the past with carving runes
Yes, you can do that too.
on candles.
You could also write one on your petition.
Or
on the pot, yes.
and now we don't want to pack the top of this too much because we don't want the seeds to have to struggle to sprout. Packing the bottom is okay because, well, you want to hold in as much as you can, but packing the top isn't really required and in my opinion not recommended.
And then of course you want to add water, which I have in this nice cute little picture that I made
where
in
it's nice and soaked. So you do it slowly, let it trickle down, put in some more, let it trickle down.
And if you're wondering where I got this picture from, I made it in high school ceramics class. So
nice.
Sorry. Can't buy it anywhere.
In woodworking, I made a Pink Floyd, the wall.
Mhm.
Kilroy was here, and it was, I don't know where that thing is at now, but and then I made a metal shop spatula.
Nice.
My mom still has it, but it's just getting rusty.
Yeah, I made a couple things in wood shop in like 7th grade, but I'm pretty sure my parents got rid of them ages ago before they died. One of them was a napkin holder with like this little rod that you put the napkins in, and it would, you put the rod down on top and it would hold them in place. And then the other one was a mirror, which was ugly as all get out, and I would not be surprised if they got rid of that.
And it's okay if water flows out the bottom. It will, I mean, if you're using a terracotta pot with a hole in the bottom, it will literally suck the water back up.
Yep.
So, but getting a good even spread so everything is soaking wet, because there's a lot of dry spots, you know, there's bubbles. So it's working its way. Do you want this?
Yes, please.
Oh, you got a lot of water on there.
Well, yeah,
On the
because
plate.
it's like just straight going through. It's not really.
Ooh, did you see that bubble? Well, you know, you could just, can I show you something?
Yeah, I thought about doing that too. Oh. Not that good for today, for right now anyway. But you want to make sure that you are taking care of this little seed the way you would any plant in your home. You want to make sure that you are keeping it watered, keeping it fed, making sure it's getting plenty of sunlight. Because as the seed grows, so does the opportunity for you to get the job that you with all of the requirements that you put on your paper.
Soaking wet as that is, there was still a bubble of dry. It's crazy. So, yeah, that's basically it. This is a no nonsense kind of process. We are going to put these on the windowsill in our kitchen because, well, it's the only one wide enough that gets enough sunlight, but not the blazing heat of frickin' Arizona. I mean, that is where a good spot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We didn't talk about that. I just assumed that's where we were gonna
No,
put it.
that's a good spot for them because, and yeah, you're right, because those windows, the sill
This-
is not really all
No,
that
and we
wide.
would have to lift up the blinds for
Yeah.
this to go there, which would not
Defeats.
allow for privacy.
Right,
It would defeat the purpose of having the blinds,
yes.
is what you were about to say, I think.
Mm,
But yeah, it's very simple, very effective, and very much done. That's the spell. I mean, if you want to go the extra mile, so to speak, and do some meditation beforehand, burn some incense, you can still burn a candle. There's nothing, I love candle magic, love it. So, I mean, you can do that too. The runes that I would recommend if you were going to carve any runes on the candle would be about prosperity, growth, and wealth. Those are the three. And have the candle burning while you're writing out your intentions, while you're setting it up like we just did. The candle's already going. So yeah, I mean, you could incorporate, just like any spell, you can incorporate multiple techniques or methods of magic into a spell. So if this is too simplistic for you, then yeah, you can add candle magic to it as well, and runic magic. So
yeah, I would think this would be a good one though for if you identify as a garden witch or a head witch or a kitchen witch. I think this would be a good one because those are all deal with plants.
Head witch.
Hedge witch.
Oh, we won't say where I was going with that. Never mind.
We pretty much know where you were going.
Never mind. I heard head witch. Anyway. So, oh, and if at some point in the next month or so you see me with really short hair, it's because it's just about at the point where I can donate it. And that's been my goal since I started growing my hair. To donate it to children and adults with cancer. So, because it's just, I mean, yeah, the ponytail needs to be a foot long. It's about a foot, if not maybe a little bit more, but I'm not wanting to give it up just yet, but I'm going to. There are a couple barbershops. Well, they're not barbershops, salons in Phoenix and one in Glendale that will take your ponytail and then give you a good cut style and send you on your way. So yeah, this is going to be gone soon. And then I start again. But anyway, thank you for watching. I know this is not one of our longer videos, but it is just as informative, in my opinion, as any of our others. So we hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend coming up. We will be doing more soon. Yes. We have several in the works, as we've spoken about tarot. We are going to do a follow-up to the
Akashic Records.
The Akashic Records, an actual episode about Akashic Records.
Yes.
And we're going to do a follow-up to the Mesopotamian gods.
Oh, the Sumerians.
Sumerian. Well, Mesopotamian,
yeah.
Sumerian gods. Because there's a lot more to it. There is so much more to that. And also with the Chinese, but I don't know why we have, or at least I have an affinity towards the Mesopotamian era than any other.
My thought on that is that
besides Irish,
if we are reincarnated, which I believe we are,
yeah, a couple times,
maybe your affinity towards them is because that was where you spent your first life. Just like my affinity is towards the Greek gods. So I'm pretty sure my first at least 1 or 2 lives was in Greece. I know I'm good.
Okay.
But yes, we have a follow-up on the Akashic Records.
And then the tarot.
Yes, we have
that's going to be
probably going to be a series.
And that's going to probably be about 6 months before we do that, because it's really, there's so much. Yes. Like right off the top, I'll say that if you are interested in tarot, get yourself, and I'm not being paid. We don't have sponsorships, but I love the Rider-Waite blank cards that you color yourself, and that creates a connection, a spiritual, physical connection between you and the cards. They are literally black and white, and you color them in. I have a set and haven't finished coloring them. I barely finished 1 card because it's very detailed.
It is very detailed.
Extremely detailed. And you need good gel pens or acrylic pens with the fine point, because some of it's really
tiny details.
But yeah, so we're going to be doing that. That's going to be a little bit though.
We wanted to do it's probably going to be a series as well, astrology.
Yes, and we're hoping to have a guest on. My understanding of astrology is I'm a Virgo.
But there is so much
Virgo
more to
on the
it.
Libra cusp.
But there is so much more to it.
There is. Like, I don't know the hour I was born. I just know the day of the week and obviously the date.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know the hour because when I was born, they didn't really keep track of that. Well, they did, but my original birth certificate is gone, and the state and county doesn't give a shit about that. So any copies you get just says, hey, you were born on this day. Congratulations. So there are certain things you need to know to be able to get a full reading, accurate, I should say, reading. I have the oddest feeling that I was born early in the morning. But again, I don't know. And unfortunately, neither does my mom.
Yeah, she doesn't remember.
She doesn't remember, which I can't really falter on that. It's not like I can tell Keith or Taylor when the fuck they were born.
I can tell my kids when they were born.
Well, you pushed them out, goddammit.
No, I didn't. They were both cesarean sections.
It's you.
But
Same freaking thing.
Chase was born at 4:44 a.m. You couldn't plan it any better than that. That was like a last minute. Just go in and get him. You're going to have to anyway. Devin, we did schedule the C-section, but he was born like 3 hours after I went in for my appointment. So he was born at like 10:06 or something like that. But like I can at least give them
I want to say 3 something.
an idea of when they were born. But
yeah,
I mean,
I want to say 3 something in the morning. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the whole 369 thing. I'm stuck on 3. And somebody out there just said 369. Damn, I know it's not about that. Okay. The number 3. The number 3 plays. That should be a topic too. For
what, getting low?
No, we don't do OnlyFans yet. No, the number 3 plays in many mythos. I mean, there's the Holy Trinity.
The 3 Furies, the 3 Fates.
There are the 3 faces of the goddess.
Maiden, Mother, Crone.
That this represents. So yeah, 3 is a very magical and sort of, I don't like the word religious, but spiritual number. And of course, with that comes 6 and 9, which are all derivatives of, and then everything else after that. And then we won't even get into the prime numbers. So
yeah.
that could be, that would be a great episode. Anyway, this is our spell for finding a new career. And we hope it's helped you. We hope you have been entertained. And we hope that you've learned something. Oh, look how it's soaking up the pot is darker.
Yep. Because it's soaking up the water.
Love terracotta. Anyway, one love. Have a great weekend. And you will be hearing from us again real soon. Thanks for watching.
Peace out, witches.
Peace out. Not like when I did it when you were literally, what, you can't find it.
There it is.